Are we live, sir? Great, thank you very much. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. WROC committee, my CEO, Mr. Kobus Loubser, the executive head of education, Mr. Andre Pollard, Kiro staff, principal of the school, executive operational head here, Mr. Jaco Olivier, and most of all, thank you for you as learners, new roboteers. This night is about you. So after all the protocol has been observed, we're going to have some fun. First of all, I've got here a minifigure, and you can win that minifigure. Are you ready? Okay, so if you know the answer, you must say, woo-ha! I can't hear you. And the first one that says who can win this if you got the answer right. So why am I wearing a red hat? Wow. Now who and ah and okay, give me a hand. Why am I wearing? Because the sponsor is ready, my friend. You can come and fetch your little thingy. Give him a round of applause. Okay, I did not welcome you, I just greeted you. Let me also greet the people there from KZN, Ingrid and a team. They are watching on YouTube, they're streaming. I'm watching in the camera. I see you all looking. Where's Ingrid? It's the camera. And I'm also saying there to Dani, to Phil, to Brent, to Duncan, Johan there in Gauteng. I'm greeting you. Ottawa there in the Northern Cape and down under Tomo in Australia. Hi there, mate. Vasily from Greece and Halifi from Thailand. You won't know if I'm talking the truth or what, but I'm just saying hi to them all. I'm not welcoming you. The welcoming I leave to my CEO. My CEO is Mr. JP, Kobus Loubser. Kobus was appointed as the CEO of WRO on the 1st of January 2023. Having previously been an executive director and CFO from WRO from the 1st of January 2021. He started his career at KMPG. That was long before all the trouble that happened there, incorporated. Served as the financial manager of Virgin Active SA for 4 years. And held the CFO position for 11 years at Holt Sport Limited until it was acquired by Long for Life in 2017. He left his position as CEO of Long for Life Sport and Recreation Division at the end of 2020 to join the WRO Group. Let's put our hands together for Mr. Kobus Loubser.
Thank you. Thanks, Tony. It's a very kind welcome and an introduction and all the protocol observed, as you said. So welcome in particular, of course, the learners who are here. So when Tony asked me to welcome you, I didn't realize there'd be so many of you, and I didn't quite realize how big this competition is. And I've done some homework, and we'll talk about that later. But it got me thinking of a famous speech, a speech by President John F. Kennedy in 1962 at a university, and he addressed 40,000 people, and he was talking about his ambition to reach the moon by 1970. And he said quite a lot, but I'm going to quote a particular passage which I think is very, very relevant to what you are doing. He said, "We set sail on this new sea because there is new knowledge to be gained and new rights to be won. And they must be won and they must be used for the progress of all people. For space science, like nuclear science and all technology, has no conscience of its own. Whether it will become a force for good or ill depends on man." And I would submit depends on young and smart learners like yourselves and what you do with your lives and your careers. And then he continued and he said, but why? Why, some say then, the moon? Why choose this as our goal? And they may well ask, why climb the highest mountain? Or, 35 years before that, why fly over the Atlantic Ocean? And he says, we choose. We choose to go to the moon. We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard. Because that goal will serve to organize and measure the best of our energies and skills, because that challenge is one that we are willing to accept, and one we are unwilling to postpone, and one we intend to win, and the others too. And for all of you brave roboteers, as Tony has called you sitting here, you are going to challenge yourself. You're going to test your creativity. You are going to test your ingenuity, your ability to communicate, to work as a team, to find solutions to new challenges. And I think you should take a lot of pride in your personal quest to do so, because we choose to do these things because they are hard, but because it makes us better. So I'm very proud of Kiro's association with the World Robot Olympiad, and I think we've been involved for over a decade now, but we're certainly very pleased with the many other learners who are also participating in this, and I think as an event that incorporates science and technology, education, robotics in this day and age, in a sense, there should be thousands of you sitting here, because that's how much it matters and that's how relevant it is. So you should be very, very proud to be here. And I think there's over 90 countries that are members of this organization, and who are all striving for the kind of excellence that'll take them from regional championships to national championships, and ultimately to Panama later this year, if you can win your way through. And I think that's a very, very exciting opportunity. So I'm not going to share too much on exactly what this year's competition entails. I'll leave that to Tony. But can I just again then welcome everybody from the Western Cape who are here physically, and of course all the others that are joining us by streaming. Kiro is delighted to host you, and certainly delighted to facilitate and participate in this process with you. And may the best team win, but may all of you have a lot of fun in the process. Okay, thank you.
Thank you. That was Mr. Kobus Loubse, CEO of Kiro Holdings. Now, Angie Mosege, Minister of Education, she wants coding and robotics in schools, and she's trying, and she made promises. And yes, if you want to go fast, you go alone, but if you want to go far, we go together. So we have taken hands with the Western Cape Education Department, and I can tell you they are not chapters ahead compared to the rest of the country. They are books ahead. And so I've asked Mr. Johnny Fries, who's the DCS for technology, and Mr. Asric Don. They say he's the Don. He is the DCS, the Deputy Chief Education Specialist for Coding and Robotics Intermediate Phase. I'm going to call them up to the stage. Please make them feel welcome here. They told me the one is going to start and the other one's going to finish, so I'll call on Johnny to start. Thank you, Johnny.
Thank you, Tony. Good evening, everybody. Nice to see you. Oh, the curtains are opening, ladies and gentlemen. Opening onto a new world. I was chatting to some of the kids. Whenever I see learners from schools, I can't help but have to chat to them. They're just the most amazing people. They never have a chance to chat to all of you, but to some of them, I asked them about what careers they want to do. Some of them, their favorite subjects are biology. There's doctors, there's lawyers, there's engineers, number of engineers in that group. Yeah, even chef, doctor. But just take a look at the future. Let's take a look at the future. Why just be an airline pilot when you can be a space pilot? What about an organ farmer? Imagine you are a farmer that grows eyeballs and hearts and kidneys for people. That's the future. The technologists around the world, they are busy preparing us for that future. It sounds weird, but it's very real. What about extinct species revivalist? You've watched those dinosaur movies, but those are just movies. But it could be real because they've already isolated dinosaur DNA. There's no reason why you can't be one of those. What about you in robotics doing an AI personality programmer? You can probably program a robot to be a comedian or a storyteller or a dancer. The future is absolutely fascinating. And if you are thinking of careers, you're only thinking of careers that exist now. There are thousands of careers that are coming that will exist in the future. And we do not know what those careers are going to be. So you need to open up yourselves to the possibility. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is what this competition is about. It's about opening up your minds to possibility that didn't exist before. It's about collaborating in a team. It's about your creativity and your critical thinking. And that is what we are about, is about the future. Currently in the schools, we do not offer the subjects adequately enough for the future. And that's why we're introducing coding and robotics as a subject. Okay? But I'm going to stop right there. I'm going to ask my colleague, Mr. Ashrik Don. Did you know his second name is The? Ashrik the Don. He's going to tell you about what is WCED doing.
Thank you, Mr. Fries. So colleagues, allow me to share. You see, when you're short, you people can't see me, man. So now I have to do this. Can I move this here, man? Can I move this? Thank you, thank you. So colleagues, there's quite a lot happening in the province, but we're also involved nationally as a department. So currently the curriculum is not gazetted yet. When I say yet, it's in progress, it's being reviewed. There will be some changes from the old and previous one that was currently still available. So there will be changes to that, especially in the foundation phase, as well as in intermediate and senior phase. So that's the curriculum. So we're looking at, hopefully, mid-June, July, August, but it will be in this year. That's the word that we received from National. So implementation next year. So what we have currently, so we need to be proactive. So as Western Cape, we said we can't wait for curriculum to land. There need to be something happening, demystify coding, get kids up and running, get clubs up and running, and that's what we are currently busy doing. So currently we have 44 microbit clubs. This is called the Learn to Code project with British Council and DBE. So in total, each school received plus minus 40 microbits. And this is all practical. They need to build, they need to create. It's a very basic course. But the learning that is happening, it's all about the learning, is enormous. In the beginning, the teachers, because sometimes we forget, the teachers need the training first before we can go to the learner. The learner will just take it, run with it. So for the teachers, we had multiple training sessions to prepare them for their first lesson, as well as support in between. So just for that, all of that doesn't happen just from head office. We have in each of our districts, there's a coding and robotics coordinator, which means there's another 8 people part of this coding and robotics team. And that team is playing a massive role in the implementation of coding and robotics. So each of these clubs have a mentor that is supporting them. We're going to have our first coding and robotics expo for these clubs in end of this month, 25th of March. So it's our first provincial expo we're going to have. Excited. British Council is sponsoring the prizes, but this will just be, we don't expect big, we only want to give them exposure. That is the whole aim of it. And from there we can grow. And this tournament is what they're actually aiming to be in, once they have that knowledge. The REACH project, there's a club, now the REACH, Mr. Fries is very actively involved with Cape Town Science Centre as well, in WCED, is part of our collaboration partners. So for the intermediate phase, this is now from grade 4 to grade, let's include the intercent to grade 7, there are also currently a project being launched for 48 schools that each will receive a set of kits, and it will also be supported by Cape Town Science Centre and WCED, as well as training for the teachers. So there's continuous support for teacher professional development, because everything starts with the teacher, and above the teacher is the official. We can't just run with the learner, because they need to be comfortable as well. Then the 500 clubs. This is the big project that we're currently busy with within WCED as well. Now, normally things in the private sector happen like this, and you can procure. Unfortunately, in government, there's nothing like this. It takes months, sometimes years. So we have currently a project for 500 robotic clubs that we want to launch. We are in progress. There's a tender coming out soon. So part of the tender has already been sorted, which is the tablets. It's just the robotic kits, which we're still waiting. So 500 clubs within the province will get a set of robotic kits for foundation phase, intercent, and senior phase. So that is our big project worth quite a few million rand in total. And implementation for that, we want it to happen this year, but most likely next year. But we are hopeful. The competitions, we have a CETA competition that landed on our seat beginning of this year. Literally beginning of this year. This is such a massive competition happening. It's the first national competition. It's only aimed at now remember there's DBE pilot schools nationally. So it's aimed at that 500 plus pilot schools. This project is called CETA Robotics Challenge. There were 2 phases to this specific competition. So from our province, 4 schools progressed, and now they're going to fly over to Mpumalanga, where they're going to, Nelspruit, where they're going to compete in an open competition, similar to what you guys have here as well. So in 2 weeks, let's say 3 weeks, they need to build a prototype that normally will take 4 months. They need to do it in 3 weeks with limited experience, but luckily we have some mentors, and one of the mentors are here as well tonight, Mr. Hensel, that is supporting those groups. So we're excited, and the winning prize for that is a STEAM lab worth 1 million rand. That is the winning prize for that school. So we're excited. We want to take that prize home to Western Cape. The boot camp, last year, colleagues, now within our space, things just land on our seat. We don't plan for it, it just land there. That boot camp from UNESCO, it was an international boot camp They let us know like a month before this boot camp is landing. So we needed to get 250 learners, organize everything, which we did. And once again, it's a whole team, the whole province chipped in, all our districts chipped in, officials chipped in, and it was a massive, massive success. So from the data that we gathered, we had a little survey. There were 5 breakout rooms for robotics, biology, chemistry, all sciences. And I think that the surprising one, not surprising, robotics, of course, top, but chemistry was second, which was quite interesting that all of that group, chemistry second, and then first was, of course, robotics. So colleagues with Cape Town Science Centre, our collaboration partner, we work very closely together because in this space you can't work on your own. So that's why we normally reach out, we go and visit, we go and learn, because we don't know everything. So we are open to learn. We are a team. Mr. Fries is the senior phase, coding and robotics, DCS as well, in technology. We have my colleague Matilda Bota, foundation phase, and then the handsome guy here, I'm intermediate phase. Very humble. Thank you, colleagues.
Thank you very much to the WCED, and I must just tell you, I see Mr. Rose and Ms. Nazwa there from Spine Road. They are waving our flag there in those competitions. Their principal told me 2 days ago they will be flying up or they will be going to Mpumalanga for these competitions. Okay, so I've got a little dead mannequin here, Lego mannequin, and a Lego pen. What did they write on his tombstone when he died? You're very close, very close. It's got something to do with RIP. Nearly there. One word wrong, one letter wrong. That was a good one. That would have been Lego blocks. Rest in pieces. But you know what? I'm going to give this to you. That's a good one. Let's give him a round of applause. So if you read the tombstone, it says, "Rest in peace." Rest in pieces. Well done. Okay, so from here on, when we will speed things up a little bit. 2 minutes to everybody that speaks. From now on, the World Robot Olympiad brings together young people from all over the world to develop their creativity. And let me tell you, South Africa are not standing behind or last in the row. We are there with the front runners. You will see later on. Design problem-solving skills through challenging and educational robot competition and activities. So let me just give you a blast from the past, Germany, Dortmund 2022. I'm just waiting there for some sound. I see what happened now. Okay, so here it comes. If you see anybody that's in this room, you just give a wah, and maybe you can win a prize. Anybody, if you see on this video of Dortmund that's in this room, I see 2 people there. Okay, I'm just asking the guys up there. All good there, your side? Ha! Ha! Found the culprit. There we go. This is all happening at the Nationals or internationals there in Dortmund, Germany 2022. There was a whole week of activities, 4 days of competition, robo missions. I think I will just keep this little plug in here. Computer engineers building a self-driving car. I do apologize for the technology. You missed that one. It's too late. It's too late. Yeah, I already got the prize. Okay. You. We are in the presence of greatness here. That was a blast from the past, and look at what they've done. Ladies and gentlemen, of the 8 teams that represented South Africa in Germany, 4 of them comes from the Western Cape. And I'm sure that these other people of Gauteng, they must have learned from us or stayed here for some time or whatever, you know. Right. And so if you look at the international team since 2012, and you can see how it grew. It grew a lot, and that's not half the team. You know how difficult is it to get everybody at one place? We take like 10 photos and we take the best one. Yeah. So, and look at our places in 2014. Dylan Reeders came second, his team came second in the world. Robo Dogs, 14th in the world. Here, Protea Heights, a school very close to us in Brackenfell, 6th in the world. Techno App is there. Mecha Strikers there. Cody's also in this room. They came 5th. In India, 5th in the world in robo sports. 9th place there for Team Infinity from Parklands. And last year, this team. Is that you? Wow, they are here. And you know what? They came 6th for innovators. But then there was the Team Spirit Award, né? And when they saw they're not going to come first for innovators, what they did is every time the judges come, they like went mal, and they sang Georgia Lords and all these things. And then they got the prize for the most spirited team in the world. First in the world. Let's give them a round of applause, man. So let me show you. Panama. If a husband and a wife is walking in Panama, who walks in front? Why? Why? Yeah, Panama. Panama. And this is the guy that came 5th in New Delhi, India in 2018. You can give him a round of applause. I didn't give him the answer, I promise. But look at this. There's Panama. Let's just zoom in on Panama. That's Panama. If you stand there on Santa Fe 2017 in Costa Rica just next to it. If you stand there, you can actually look. Do I want to go to the Caribbean Sea or to the Gulf of Panama to swim? And you look at the water and you look at the wind and you decide it's so close to each other, you can see it from one place. It's on the circle of fire. While we stood and watched the one volcano, the other one erupted behind us. Oh, it made nice photos. Smoking. We had an earthquake. We had a beverage. I'm not going to say if there was alcohol in, but we had one sip of this beverage and the whole place was shaking. And I looked at that glass and I say, wow. Good Fanta. Earthquakes, you get so close to nature. All the birds don't fly over the water. The birds migrate up there. And it's those nice pollies and color birds. And, butterflies. That's how it got its name. A lot of butterflies is called Panama. There's a Panama tree. Butterflies in that tree. And that's where the name comes from. A beautiful place. So, if you can just put on some sound there for us. Lovely. Panama is connecting South America with North America with waterways. People connecting, and that's the theme of this year, connection. Connection of communications. To make it better, to make it safer. That's your thinking while you're doing your projects. They're uploading, they're downloading, they're fixing sea cables, they're communicating. Think about how you can make the world in Panama better with a better connection. And that's Mr. Dani Heymans. Thank you. You're clapping for Mr. Dani Heymans. Yes, Dani. You can see they're clapping for you. Okay, so Mr. Dani Heymans is the national organizer. You will hear him now. I will ask him to say something. But before that, let me just introduce to you this magnificent team. Ms. Busi Makabela, can you just raise there? Busi Makabela is the executive director of Assets. She's got a lot of schools that she supports over there. Round of applause. Mr. Richard Nags, can you please stand up? He's the Director for Technology and Innovation at Parklands. Ms. Fatima Yakut, she is the CEO of the Sakikamfa Foundation, and her schools got the first prize last year for the Explorer. Something like that. Oh yes, let's give her a round of applause. She's also the only pilot, I think, that's in this room. She flies big planes. And when she comes up, I will ask her just to say something like the pilot always say? We are now lift off, or something like that. Okay, so Ansel Williams, you heard him already, Mr. Ansel Williams, engineer, consultant, the BIAS. Woo! So Asik Don, you've met him, the DCES. For coding and robotics, Mr. Johnny Fries. Am I going in the right? Yeah, DCES for technology. Is Dr. Setu Stofile here? Nope. And then we have the head of technology at Crystal House, Mr. Cedric Esterhuizen. And then we've got my colleague, Yuri de Jager. Where are you? He's the manager for coding and robotics intermediate phase at WRO National. And I must say international as well. Botswana. Yeah. Okay, and he's the vice chairperson. And then you have me, I'm the chairperson. And I'm blessed to work with such a team of dynamic people. Let's give them a round of applause again. So I'm running through this slide. We've got the rover category that will be in-house. Dani will tell you all about it. Explorer category, that's for the new people. Then we got the robo missions. That is what a mission that you must accomplish in 2 minutes. And then we got the robo sports. We're playing tennis nowadays. Future innovative, that's open. You bring your own robot and you come and show us. It's an open category. And then future engineers, it's a self-driving car. That was the advanced robotics of the past. So we've got the South African challenges that ends at the nationals, and that is the rover and the explorer category. The rover category is in-house, and I'm going to ask Dani just to tell us a little bit about it. Okay, Dani, you are live. You can speak. Thanks.
Hello everyone, I'm Dani Heymans and I'm the National Organizer for WRO South Africa. I present the WRO SA in-house competition platform with a brief description. Firstly, there is no provincial or national component to this competition. Secondly, in-house explains itself in that the challenges are scored by the coach or the teacher in your venue where teams practice, be it a classroom or a lab. In-house is relevant to Explorer and Rover competitions, as per the rules on the website. Explorer is for 8 to 12-year-old, which is the light category, and 11 to 15 years old, prime, which is the older category, on the current WRO elementary Rover mission mat. Rover has its own mat designed for ages 6 to 10 years old. The rules allow for 2-hour scoring period for each team. Very important, teams need to program from scratch in a new window with what they have learned. There is no restriction to the hardware or the robots and the software, the programming, that can be used. From Lego robotics to any other fun robots you use in your classroom. Schools or teams will need to register on the WRO South Africa website, and the cost is 300 Rand per club or institution. You will be invoiced on registration. Score submission dates will be 10 days in mid-October. See events on the WRO SA website. In-house is also open to schools from neighbouring countries. Teams will receive bronze, silver or gold e-certificates for their score brackets achieved. The Explorer and Rover PEC roll-up mats are available from Hands-On Technologies, as well as the brick sets to build the objects. Check the building instructions in the relevant rules document, because perhaps you have the pieces already. The main advantages of in-house are no travel commitments to competitions, and importantly, multiple teams can use the same robots on different days. Please also see the Q&A section on the WRO SA website for answers to general questions. We hope you have lots of fun with the in-house challenge. Good luck.
Thank you very much, Dani. And now, I'm not going to go over the Robo challenge. I think Dani said enough. What we do want you to know is it ends at in-house. We don't take these small ones to national or international. They get angry, I'm telling you. Have you seen those 5-6-year-olds angry? you don't want to work with them or anything like that. So the Explorer category, I'm going to ask Fatima. Please put your hands together for you. The pilot, Fatima.
Thank you very much. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is the captain speaking, and welcome aboard our flight WRO Explorer 123 to Panama City. Flying time is 14 hours and 32 minutes. You can expect a bumpy ride, but don't blame the pilot. So keep your seatbelts fastened and enjoy the flight with us. Well, let us dive right into, or fly right into the Explorer category. This is something that I'm not used to. What is this? Is this to fly the airplane? Okay, so the Explorer category that we've got there is, we've got the Explorer Light category and the Prime category. So as you can see, the different ages there, 18 to 21 and 11 to 16 for the Prime category. So the teams build a robot, of course, and that has certain requirements, and that they have to solve the challenge for this year. The challenge is on the WRO website. I'm not going to bore you with it, but we do have a winning teams from Erika Primary. They placed second in the nationals, right? And was it third as well? at second and third in the nationals. So give them a nice round of applause. They are here. They are going to compete again this year, but not in the Explorer category. The Explorer category, of course, a very a nice entry point into the WRO. Then we have the in-house, that is up to school level, and of course the in-person, which is regional and national level. Next slide. Okay, thank goodness I've got the right button there. So I'm going to have to just show you what the challenge looks like this year. We've got a just need to. So we've got the starting point there, and the difference between the Explorer Light and the Explorer Prime category is that our submarine is placed here, and that is our station that we need to get to the get our submarine in. And for the prime category, the submarine is placed in here. So each one, all these blocks, we've got this a red block there and a black, and then we've got the white that needs, as well as the blue block. And then we need to transfer these into the black goes, of course, into the black ship, and so the red goes into the red, and the blue goes into the blue ship. We've got as well, am I missing something there? And the ball needs to slide down and into a catchment area. The ball needs to be within that catchment area and needs to touch the mat. As well as what we've got there is, of course, the start position of the lighthouse container, and that needs to be into the white recycling area. And so there are the boys, the two boys that need to, there are no girls on here. There are boys that needs to be, we need to prevent, or they need to be in position. They need to remain in that position, otherwise we get deducted points. And the robot needs to return to the start position, and that's it. And it takes a couple of weeks and sometimes months for our kids to code their robot and to make it do what they need to, and obviously get maximum score maximum points. So that's the Explorer category, and I do hope that if there are newcomers to the WRO, please enter the Explorer category because it's very exciting. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Fatima. She made a deliberate mistake. What was the mistake? Oh, man, you are so great. Give her a round of applause. Thank you for that, Fatima. It is 8 to 12 years. Are you awake? Zonga apa. And so, now for the international competitions, I'm going to ask Mr. Richard Nags to come forward.
Yeah, thank you. Great, good evening, everyone. Tony, thank you so much for inviting me to speak about robo mission. This is one of my favorite categories because there's a huge focus on mechanics, which is building a robot, coding that robot, and then thinking creatively about how you're actually going to solve and approach this challenge. A lot of fun. You'll find that the challenges are linked to the WRO yearly theme, and basically the team need to build a robot that needs to complete the challenge autonomously. What does that mean? What does that mean? Yeah. Exactly. Well done. Well done. Okay, so autonomously within 2 minutes. Okay, we're going to have to give a thank you, Tony. Okay, so important, you can only use official Lego products with the exception of the high-technic color sensor. So the high-technic color sensor, great sensor to have, but you can't get hold of them. They're very rare. So if you can, that's great. Age groups, very important, okay? For example, the elementary category, you cannot be older than 12 in the year of the competition. If you are, you're in the wrong year. So just please take note of the years, the maximum years. So junior is 15 years, senior 19 years. You can't be older than that. So let's just have a look. Okay, great. So I'm going to give you a few tips here. Let's just get to those tips. Yeah. Okay, your robot size, maximum 25 centimeters cubed. Okay, that includes cables. Cables may not hang over the starting block, and you'll see the starting block just now. Very important, know the rules. Go through the rules in detail. If you don't understand something, look on the website, question and answers, contact WRO SA. There's some interesting little rules that need to be clarified. Check that out. The setup is randomized. Last year we had some teams come to the competition, they say, but why are you changing things around every round? Well, that's how it works. Every round, we change it around. So make sure your program can manage and deal with randomization. And test again. Absolutely important. Okay, so let's quickly look at the RoboMission Elementary Challenge. This is on the topic marine life preservation. Once again, a reminder, 8 to 12 years. And it focuses on life underwater, because life underwater is very important. And why? Because we depend on it for food and for water. And actually, something I learned, I didn't know, protection against flooding. And I thought, really? The reason why is coral, actually what it does is it makes the water shallower near coastlines. And what that does is that reduces the size of the wave hitting the coastline. So you have to make sure you look after coral life as well. So another thing I learned, I didn't know, that to protect our oceans, we have the MARPOL Convention. And that's an agreement between countries worldwide and ships, and they cannot pollute the water. They cannot throw their waste overboard, and they have to make sure that it's disposed of correctly. So in the elementary game, what we need to do is we need to, let's just get rid of that quickly. Okay. The robot has to help the ships manage their waste. So there are our ships over there, and they have different waste. So you'll see there are the waste items over there. There are 6 in total. Okay. You'll have a hatch on only 2 of the ships, on the green and the yellow ship, and there's the hatch. Now there's a little trick with the hatch. You actually have to lift it up to eject the waste. The others stand on their own. So the robot starts over there. You also have a whale, and the whale is stuck in the shallow areas. Those are the coral areas, and you have to take that whale, wherever it is. You have to work out where it is. It's randomized. You have to move it to the whale watching area. Okay? You then have 4 pieces of coral. There's a coral. It's quite tall and quite difficult to move. They have to be moved into the coral zones. Okay, there are 4 coral zones to obviously establish life again there in the coral zones. And the different recycling waste, or the different waste components, have to be moved into their corresponding areas. Little trick here, there's a little fence over there and a little fence over there, and those fences can't be moved. So it's a bit of a trick, that one. Okay. Great. So moving on to RoboMission Junior. This is underwater infrastructure, a reminder of age 11 to 15. Okay, this is a focus on undersea communication. And did you know that everybody says, well, you know, satellite, surely that's faster. We don't need to put undersea cables in the ocean. Well, actually not. Undersea cables are 8 times faster than satellites. So that's interesting to know. The junior game field. The robot has to help install and repair broken undersea cables. There's a broken undersea cable. There are obviously fixed undersea cables, and there's server farms as well. So an undersea cable obviously is for transmission of data. A server farm manages that data. You also have solar farms, which you have to activate. You see there's a little lever there. You have to pull that down, and that provides energy to the whole platform. You also have these barriers, so you can't take a little sneaky little move between the 2 areas. But the most important thing are your ship information centers. Okay, and this is how the game starts. You've got the Pacific area and the Caribbean hub. If I've got that right, yes, there's a Pacific hub and there's a Caribbean hub. And you see you have these connection slots. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. I can't see that far. I think it's 1, 2, 3, 4. And you see there are these ship information centers. That is for the Pacific hub, and that is for the Caribbean hub. And depending on where these blocks are, that tells you where the server farm has to go and where the undersea cable has to go. So there's one server farm and one undersea cable for that area, and one server farm and one undersea cable for that area, okay? And depending on the number there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, you have to deliver it into the appropriate connection slot, okay? There's a broken undersea cable just to really mess things around. That's placed there, and you have to obviously move it to the recycling facility. Very challenging, a lot of fun. Hopefully that wasn't too fast. Mr. Esterhazen, I'd like to hand over to you next for the senior.
That's the one I want. Good evening, everyone. I just have to mention to Mr. Jonathan Fries, when you mentioned about AI, personalities, etc. I think my wife asked me if you could perhaps design a remote that could, perhaps put me on mute, or perhaps on her, that could work on her. But yeah, I don't think we're there yet, Dr. Tony. I think that this challenge and WRO as a whole, I think it serves as a convergence point for 21st century learning design. So it encompasses all those characteristics that we are looking for in our leaders of tomorrow. So the collaboration is there. The skilled communication is what we are after. Problem solving, and of course at the top end would be creativity. And this is what we want to see come out of these competitions. To me, that would present a well-rounded student because it integrates so many different disciplines that it's, ever since Crystal House started, where I'm from, we have seen our students progress not only in robotics, but in all other subject areas. It just makes them more focused and more disciplined when they decide to tackle a problem. Now, the senior category, what we have in front of us over here, is indeed one of those little problems that we need to look at. That's the mat, and Dr. Tony, I'm going to. Do I press the left, the right one? Nope. Right, I'm going to use the arrow keys instead. Right, so starting point, of course. It's right there at the bottom. So your spike prime will start over there. You don't have to finish over there. You can finish all the way up here as well, but we'll get to that in about 1 minute and 42 seconds. And then after that, I'm just going to go through the different elements and what they are for and what you need to look out for. You decide how you're going to complete, which path you're going to follow, and how you're going to build your robot, of course, to complete those tasks. Then you have those 2 marking blocks on the side over there that just popped up over there. Right? That's one of 2 items that will be randomized. So they could either be 2 green blocks, or they could be 2 blue blocks. The reason why that's important is because it will determine which blocks you're going to load on your large ship. So moving along, there are those 4 container blocks in Depot A. So those are the container blocks. So if you see a blue block and a green block, what that means is you need to place one of these, and these will be randomized as well in Depot A. So you will have to get the blue block and the green block onto your large ship. What does your large ship look like? Well, it's not that. That's another set. That's Depot B. And those are just 2 white blocks, okay? That's not randomized. They will always look like that. So nothing special about them, really. At the top, you have your fuel depot. That's important because you need to get the fuel for your ship. And your large ship looks something like that, right there. So on this ship, because I have a green and a blue block over here, I must go and, depending on how they've been randomized, I must now go and collect a green and a blue block and put it onto this large ship. On the large ship itself, we have a special cargo block. That's a red one with a little loop. That one must not remain on the ship. Right? Further along, we're going to get to two cranes over here. This is crane A and crane B. And you have to take that red special container block and go and place it on one of these cranes. If you place it on crane A, you get a certain amount of points. If you place it on crane B, you get slightly more. So lots of decisions that needs to be made. Let me just move this along quickly. There's the small ship. The small ship will always contain 2 blocks. You can choose which 2. It's not like the large ship, where it must be based on these 2 marking blocks over here. You can place 2 white blocks on there, these 2 over there. Whatever's left from these, as long as it has 2 blocks on it, okay? This is what the crane looks like. There's a little hook in front, upside down, and you have to take that special red block. Let me just get my other crane going here as well. There are 2 cranes. That's the red block coming from the large ship over there. So you have to hang it over one of the 2 cranes. Once it's hung, you then have to activate the crane. So it will then lift up, and that will give you maximum points. You do get points if your robot happens to stall for whatever reason, and the red block is still on your robot. You still get points for that. But that you will learn once you go through. As the previous speaker said, go through the rules, know your rules, so that you can plan your strategy to get maximum points out of this category. Then that's the other option that you have for maximum points, to place the special red block onto crane B. And then you will notice that the large ship is now moved from its location over there. By the way, the ships are not randomized. They will always be placed in that position, the large ship over there, and the small ship at the bottom over here. For maximum points again, you will have to drag both ships, not have to, you can choose what you want to do. If you drag one ship out, you get a certain number of points. If you happen to drag both the big and the small ship out, your points will increase. Right? So that's something to look out for. And then you can either finish over there. In the rule book, they call it, you can moor your vessel over there, and then you get additional points, much more than what you would receive if you finish where you started. Okay? And one other thing. This would be your harbor walls. They have to remain intact. And if you start and you don't perform any of the tasks, you will not get those bonus points of the harbor walls, right? You have to at least finish one of the tasks in order to get those bonus points as well, right? And I think that sums it up, because in total, you could score 165 points. That would be a perfect score. And just to add, I haven't seen a perfect score in a while. So even at last year's competition, Dr. Tony, the senior category, it's been very tough, and this is really going to test the students. But may I ask that you don't print the rules, because we have to save our planet, save the planet, rather just have an e-copy available. But go through the rules, plan your strategy, and I'm sure that considering all the options, you'll be able to make informed choices as to how you're going to win this competition. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Cedric, Head of Technology at Crystal House. And Technoblades, are you here? Are they here? Do you want to say something? I give you 1 minute and 50, 1 minute and 40, 1 minute and 30, 1 minute and, okay, you get 1 minute and 50 seconds. These, they came 19th in the Robo Mission last year, am I right? So you can have this. You want to speak from there? Yeah. Okay, you go ahead.
Hello everyone. We are Team Technoblade and we competed in last year's Robo Mission Elementary Challenge. This is Luan Udendal and this is Matthew Franke. My name is Vera Tuaru and I'm the builder of Team Technoblade. I will be talking about the building aspect in last year's challenge for our robot. While we were trying to figure out a solution to the last year's challenge, we thought about every combination for the game field. A good robot links into your strategy and route you're going to take. We wanted to build a robot that was not only compact, but also lightweight and fast. We took all the attributes of every member of the team's ideas and put them all in one. When we started to build our robot, we came across many problems, such as simplicity, symmetry, and stability. If you want to build a world-class robot that is efficient and consistent, you need to take all of these rules into consideration. The hardest part of building a good robot is solving around problems. Problems will appear very frequently when working with a robot. Some problems might even result in building another prototype, but all of this is part of the building process. Handing over to Luan.
Good evening, I'm Luan Udendal and I am the coder of Team Technoblade. As the team's coder, it is my responsibility for programming the robot to perform certain tasks. For the WRO competition elementary, we use block-based code for our robot. You can however use other codes as long as it works on EV3, Spike, NXT, or Mindstorms. The coding challenges given to us last year were very tough. After the building and design, the coding process started. Once the robot could complete all the tasks successfully, we slowly started speeding it up. I'm happy with how we coded the robot since we had great success with it. I'm heading over to Matthew.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Matthew Franco. I am incredibly proud to stand here today as part of our team named Technoblade. Our team qualified 2 years in a row to represent South Africa in the final of the World Robotics Olympiad. Last year, we traveled to Germany for the final competition. The experience was incredible. We competed against the brightest and most skilled minds around the world in our category, and we will forever remember our experience. As much as it was a rewarding experience, we did face many challenges along the way. We are very lucky as a team. We work very well together, and that is very important, but many hours, days, and school holidays went into our robot. The surprise rule. The surprise rule is just a new rule they give us on the day of the competition, and we have to complete it in a certain amount of time. Every year, the surprise rule is different. All I can say is expect the unexpected. Good luck to all the teams taking part this year. We wish you all the success.
Thank you, guys. And once again, well done, well done. 2 years in a row. Thank you. Robo sports. Ladies and gentlemen, this is tennis. Robo tennis. You will see this. There are 4 balls on each side, and you must get the balls. You got 2 minutes, you get all the balls. This side is a ramp. You can just, now you need to lift it this side, and that side you can just roll it over, something like that. And I'll give you just a little bit of, maybe you can play there. Yeah. Okay, and this was the finals, and you can see there that was China versus Malaysia, and China's got the ball and he hits, and now there's no balls there, so you start counting 1, 2, and okay, there we go, there's a ball again, so we got the game. If there's no balls and there's a 10 count and there's still no balls, and that team wins 8-0, not like Liverpool and Manchester, yeah. Sorry for that. This is tennis. This is Nadal and Federer. The ones hits Federer, then the other one. And oh yes, look at that. It stopped because that robot touched the red. There's also rules. And you know what? We got our representatives here today that represented South Africa. Sinanjongo, Busi, You want to say something about them? Please come up. Sinenzengo, are you here? Please come forward, man. They went to Dortmund, Germany. Come, Eric Odana, you can come with him, man. You look good, man. You good. But you don't have much time. We need to wrap up. There we go. Don't fall now. They're on a roll if they fall now. Thank you, Busi.
Thank you, Chairperson. Good evening, everybody. We will give you 90 seconds, Chair. We know that the time is of essence. You mentioned something earlier that if you want to go far, you go together. But with this group, really, we surrounded ourselves with great minds. And I want to say, Parklands, I think you should be here. I'm feeling very cold without you next to me. And the coach, we traveled together. Asset works with schools from disadvantaged communities. And these guys are from a school called Sinenjongo High School, which is based in Milnerton, right in Joe Slovo, next to the taxi rank. And standing here in front of you today, they are calling themselves the South African champions. We're very proud with them, very proud of them. And we couldn't have done that without the support that we got from Parklands. And this year is the coach that really carried the boys. And of course, as well, he is from Parklands. So we're very grateful for this partnership. And we feel that it's still going to go very far. So let's just keep it going. Thank you so much, Parklands. Thanks so much, everybody. Thanks to the committee. Take it over, guys. Just share a little bit about your experience.
Good afternoon, good people. My name is Elisha Zenzile from Joe Slovo. As Busi said, I'm from Sinenjongo High School, School of Excellence. And I had great experience in 2022. I was one of the teams that had to go to Germany to represent South Africa. So I've learned so much. I've learned that teamwork helps a lot. So in order for us to achieve, we need to work as a team. And also I learned that sharing new ideas and coming up with solutions helps a lot. And also there's a lot that happened in Germany. We enjoyed a lot of time. We met new people, we made new friends. It was a great experience, greatest experience of my life. So I'm very grateful to Asset Organization and also to Parklands College. They were always there with us. I'm thankful for the opportunity and thank you so much.
I'd like to greet you all. My name is Pragazel Kimbini. I would really like to first thank off, as my partner said, Parklands College and you, Sir Odana. Thank you for your support. It has really been a difficult journey. Like at first, we had to work extra hours after school every day. We had to go to Parklands College and put in the work. Then after that, we went for a competition here in provincial. Then we came out second place, which was like really amazing for us, and we really appreciate everyone who had our back and everyone who supported us through this journey. Thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Dixon Matsvandondo, and one of the teammates. One of the members of the team. I'm really thankful for, obviously, Mr. Odana right here. Without him, we wouldn't be here right now. And obviously, Asset and Parklands too. When we won in provisionals, when we were going to Joburg, it was a very exciting journey. It was still, at that moment, we didn't realize what's going to happen when we went to what's going to happen when we go to Joburg. So when we played in Joburg, we were excited and seeing new teams everywhere and having to see the people that we versed against and new teams of other provinces in Joburg. So yeah, when we versed against Parklands and the German schools and WRO too, who we versed against on the finals, and it was a hectic moment because it was a very hectic moment that day because, yeah, we couldn't believe ourselves that we won. I'm very thankful for I'm very grateful for this opportunity, because since we go to a very disadvantaged school, we don't normally get all this extracurricular like robotics. So having to be able to do this was a huge breakthrough for us, and we really enjoyed our experience, and I hope that you guys enjoyed it as much as we did. Thank you.
And then to close, Chairperson, I just want to say that it's a pity they won't be able to defend whatever it is they achieved last year, because they're grade 12, and it's quite a hectic year. Even to get them here today was really not easy. Their principal doesn't really play that much, so their grade 12s, have a very hectic schedule. So it's unfortunate, but we are hoping that they'll be participating and assisting in the program, to try and coach the younger ones that we have whenever they get a moment. Thank you so much, everybody, and thanks for the opportunity.
So, ladies and gentlemen, they keep on referring to that man standing there, Eric Odana. He's also an international robo soccer coach. Let's give him a round of applause. In the 1900s, I had a team from Wallisdean, and he was my captain. And there were 10 guys, and they won the Western Cape. And while they were jumping up, I didn't make a Mexican wave. I was thinking, where will I get the money to get them to Joburg? And I couldn't get enough money. So, Parklands, thank you for assisting. We need that kind of financial assistance. While the others were planning where they're going to go, their itinerary, some of these guys had to go and stand in lines for ID cards and try and get enough money, pocket money. So yes, we are also here to give, we are here to share, and we are here to uplift. Thank you very much, Sinanjongo. You had a great journey. And even when things went wrong in Germany, that first night you walked overtime for the next day to be ready. Well done, eh? So, Yuri de Jager, I'm going to ask Yuri just to say something about innovators. Yuri is an international judge for the innovators category. You can give him a round of applause.
Right, thank you, Tony. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry, I'm going to have to rush, but let's see how we can get through this quickly. So the future innovators, what makes this category really interesting and quite unique is that it's not bound to specific rules and regulations. It's quite open, as it used to be called the open category. So it's an open source choice category where you can choose whichever software you want to use and hardware. So that's what makes it quite interesting. It's almost in the style of the science expos that we all know so well. So let me start by just sharing the age groups with you. Obviously, with all the categories, there are age groups that's applicable. And as you can see on the screen, our elementary category, that's from 8 to 12 years of age. Our junior category is from 11 to 15. And then the seniors are from 14 to 19. Excuse me. So every year there's a new theme, as you know, and obviously Panama is the hosting country for this year, and the theme, of course, as we all know now, is the saving of the oceans and the organizing of robot models, prototypes that helps the places and people, connecting people and places in sustainable ways. Sorry for that. So teams may choose one of two criteria or areas specifically. The first area is called connecting over water, and the second area or criteria is called connecting, connecting with information technology. So teams can either choose the one or the other, or they can choose a combination of both. If they want to choose to work on a project together, that is also in order, as long as both of those aspects are covered in their project. Okay, these projects and prototypes and models need to then be presented to a panel of judges, and they have an area of 2 meters by 2 meters by 2 meters. That's a little booth that the teams have to present their working model, their solution to this real-world problem. Obviously, they need to make sure that the booths are well made, that it's well decorated, and of course the working model, the prototype that works and is presented to the judges. Okay, so in connecting over water, what the judges are looking for will be robotic solutions that help to make shipping over water more efficient, safer, and more environmentally friendly. The second theme of connecting with information technology, that is where we are looking at robotic solutions that help to set up and maintain sustainable IT infrastructure around the world to make us, enable us to connect with one another. All right. Now, most of these themes are obviously generated from the United Nations Sustainable Goals, and the specific goals in mind is goal number 9 and goal number 14, as you can see on the screen there. Industry, innovation, and infrastructure, as well as life underwater. So this fits in perfectly with the theme this year that we get from Panama. So that is all connecting people and places in a sustainable way. So the next slide is just to give you an idea of what it looks like at an international level. The booths that you see there, beautifully made up, beautifully decorated with their working and functional robots. Wonderful booths and examples that you can see there at an international level. And as you can see there, South Africa very well represented. Yeah, and that brings me then to Team Triple Tech. And Team Triple Tech, as Tony also mentioned in the beginning there, they achieved a wonderful 6th place overall in the elementary category, as well as the overall Team Spirit Award. So I believe they are in the house. Would it be possible for them to maybe give us just a quick inspirational message or two? Thank you.
Thank you. When I first joined WRO, I thought it was going to be like any other extramural. But little did I know WRO would take me places, teach me things, and help me meet amazing people. I never thought I'd be able to experience an international competition, or compiling long booklets, or traveling all the way to Germany with my friends. If anything WRO has taught me is that with hard work and determination, the sky is the limit. I made so many memories along the whole experience and enjoyed spending time with my team. We enjoyed ourselves just a little bit too much and ended up winning a Team Spirit Award. Who knew 3 proudly South African girls could go this far? But really, who knows how far you can go? Over to Alihle.
Hello, good evening. My name is Alihle Hadebe, and I was the main coder of this team. Well, basically, during this process, it was a lot of fun. There was a lot of ups and downs, but overall, the main experience was really enjoyable. Coding, in fact, is not easy, and little did I know, my team did not tell me that I'd have to code everything. But it's okay because they helped me, and I'm very grateful that I have them standing next to me today. But even though coding may sound so difficult, it's really not if you understand what you're trying to do and what you're trying to get in the end. But what I have to say is that being able to participate in this competition with these 2 lovely girls was an amazing experience, and I know that all of you guys can enjoy it as well as I did. Handing over to Tendeka.
My time doing WRO really has changed me, and not only in my coding skills. This was more than a competition, it was a journey. A very eventful one too. This competition really did teach me a lot of things. For starters, these things take a lot of teamwork, effort, and passion. That's one of the emotions you need for this competition. You need to love what you're doing. Because if you don't, you won't be successful. For us, we spent our after-school hours, weekends, and our precious holidays because we were determined to reach our goal. The cherry on top for the WRO event was that we could represent our country on the world stage in Germany. We met so many amazing people, and we made some amazing friends. Thank you to both Parklands and WRO for the memorable year we had. I'll see you all in Panama.
Challenge accepted. Panama, here we come. Okay, so I will now ask future engineers, Mr. Hansel Williams. Let's put our hands together for Mr. Hansel Williams.
Right, evening everyone. We're talking about the future engineers category, and this is for the ages 14 to 19. Now, what you may have noticed is that as we go through the presentation, the colors have become less and less, and it's kind of becoming a bit more, maybe a bit more serious. And this is one of them where it's doesn't have all the singing and dancing types of things in the competition. But yes, it is a very special sort of category, you could say. It is centered around autonomous driving, and the teams have to build a robot that can navigate itself around a particular track. It's a very simple track, and we will see in the next slide what that track looks like. Yes, and it's once again, it's an open technology type category. The teams can use any hardware, software. You may have heard of Arduino, microbit, Raspberry Pis, and of course now you have Raspberry Pi also has a microcontroller called the Pi Pico. And any of the languages that work with those particular platforms, MicroPython, C, and also, of course, the teams can also use a Lego platform. The vehicle has to be a four-wheeled vehicle, okay, and with a steering mechanism. Now, as you may or may not know, the usual robot in the other categories are typically three-wheel vehicles with using two motors, a motor on each wheel to give it the steering mechanism. Here you've got a normal type of four-wheel car, like a road car, and it has to navigate around this track. And over here is the track itself. It's very simple, nothing like what you may have seen before, but you can imagine the level of sophistication and the level of sensing and the programming sophistication that has to go into this. And of course, we can think about, we've probably, most of us heard of the Tesla self-driving vehicles. And I think what makes this particular competition quite challenging is that it's really tough to have a car that can behave can drive like a human can drive a car. And I think that's one of the sort of discoveries of Elon Musk himself. He thought he could have a self-driving car run by 2016, and he's still struggling to do that. The Teslas have 8 cameras, and you can imagine all the processes that they need for that particular type of vehicle. Just in closing then, these are the kinds of things that you have to do. You have to do object avoidance, obviously. You have to do color sensing because one of the rules of the competition is that if it's a green block, you go left, and if you see a red block, you go right. So a little complication there, and of course speed counts as well. And every year they change the rules slightly, but the general theme year after year at the moment is a self-driving vehicle. And South Africa achieved quite a bit of success last year. This was Team RoboDog. I don't know if you've got...
Unfortunately, we cannot make it in person, but here is our experience in Germany.
Mais les gilets sur le carton de spike, il est pas moderne. Non, il est meilleur. Sauf que il n'est pas parfait non plus. Est-ce que carton sur le comité pour voir le mur?
Okay, this is that level. Yeah.
So as you can imagine, as I said, probably in the subsequent rounds, they start placing objects on the track, red and green, and the cars have to navigate around around those
uses
objects.
AI technology like OpenCV to identify the traffic lights, which determines the direction that the robot has to take to avoid it.
For me, it was the first time leaving the country, so it was truly an amazing experience. We both gained a lot of knowledge, not just on the competition we were taking part in, but also we got to see a wide variety of robots, which are all unique in their own way.
Going to the WRO competition was the experience of a lifetime, and I'm incredibly grateful for it. It allowed me to learn new skills, connect with like-minded individuals, and gain invaluable experiences in the field of robotics.
In conclusion, this was truly an amazing experience, and I encourage each and every one of you to take part. You truly won't regret it.
Good luck to everyone that's participating in the competition this year.
Righto, and Team RoboDog did 11th place in the world out of 24. Give them a hand of applause there. And that's it for Future Engineers. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much, Ansel. So the first round you saw without that's the open round, and after that they put the blocks there. So how do you start? You get a team, you find a coach, get the equipment, and then you need to read the rules. Need to read the rules of engagement. You plan your strategy. You register a team, and registration you will see now when that happens. And then you build and you improve and you execute, and you even ask people like us to help. You practice, and you practice. And you must have fun. You get these kids at the competitions like, I stay away from them. Others, if they make a mistake, they high five. That's the kind of thinking, the kind of person, the kind of learning that I love. High five, we can try again. Huh? So, have fun. And now you can take out your cell phones, because here are the dates. The competition dates is the 5th of August here at this school. In the main hall, in the cafeteria, in some of the classrooms. On the 5th of October, the Western Cape Robot Olympiad will be here. 5th of August. Did I say March? No. October. I'm so confused with the months. You know, they say February does not March, but April, May. So, where are we? August. 5th of August. Here we go. I'm going on. Panama, 7 to 9 November. You know what? You don't have to write a South African exam if you go there. Any international competition, they let you pass. Ask Cody. For 3 years, he didn't write mathematics. And here's where your help comes from. You lift up your eyes onto the screen. where it come as you help. And now you take a photo, rosa.kosa. Okay, you can say it, rosa.kosa. There we go. That is where you find everything. Everything and everything. Okay, so now here we have all our sponsors. And tonight I want to say a vote of thanks, especially to Kiro Durbanville for giving us this beautiful venue for free, for net, for nothing. I think so, Mr. Yakuelafir, it was free? Free? Thank you. We can help with the cleaning and so on. Thank you. Saki Kampa also gave some presents. Hey, let's Saki Kampa. That's the flight lady. Aldeburg Robotics Club, they're going to help now with the workshop for the coaches. Parklands are going to assist the workshop with the learners. That's where we're going now. Read it. Hands on, they are the national sponsors. Thank you to Kiro. Thank you for everything. And Kiro has set some challenges this year. Parklands, here we come. Our focus will be robotics. So next year, again, you will see some Kiro learners on this stage. Otherwise, my name is not Dr. Tony Williams. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. What we do now is we're going to leave for the workshops. If you go out, there's a little truck. Please support that truck. Buy your coffee. Buy a snack. And the others, you can follow me for the coaches and the learners. Now, we're going to do a lucky draw. Lucky draw time. Yes, man. I'm going to ask the CEO to come up here and draw that lucky number. So the Star Wars prize goes to...
Right, number 28.
Number 28. Number 28.
Number 28. How do they know? There we go.
Are you the photographer? You the photographer? No. Yes? Yes. Thank you for the photos. You give me the number, I'll do the last one.
Oh, do you want that?
No, you can sit down.
So this would be number 9.
Number 9. Number 9.
See another one.
Where's number 9? What school are you from? Van Riebeek. Wow. Friend. Well done, well done. And the last prize is a Lego box and a Lego pen. You want to give that again? Oh man, so sweet. You see, I'm going to ask for a drum roll. What's the number? Did you see? And the number is, give me a drum roll.
Number 29.
Compliments of hands-on technology and read it and care for education. And the last prize from Saki Kampa, it's a pin and a box. Lego.
And that goes to number 20. Kan ik die maar terug met dat, hè?
Ja, thank you very much. That's all right.
Oepsie,
And the winning ticket is number... I don't know if this is 88 or 88 or... I'm just kidding. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you for your time. The robots say thank you. And your journey home must be safe. Take care. And for those that have got these workshops, you can follow me after this. I will leave out of that door and we will go to the computer rooms where we will do spike programming. Thank you very much. You can give yourself a round of applause. Thank you to everyone.